Hello class, we are Team Nada and today we will be presenting chapter 2 of Unleash Possible. My name is Nar and in my team we have Darren, Ani, Arpa, and Mdinas who joined our team yesterday. In this chapter, we will discuss the non-traditional metrics marketing must own. This includes sales metrics. We will explain the length of time in each stage of the buying process, the win rate, adoption metrics, advocacy metrics, and conclude our presentation with the final steps of what metrics should include. Obsession with numbers is a shared interest with many marketers. Metrics consist of tools we use to measure rankings, subscription rates, growth rate, and so on. These are metrics related to the tools of our trade, which we must learn to master as marketers. Even though these examples help in the field of marketing, they are not the core goal of a marketer. The core mission is always to drive business growth. With that being said, in this chapter, we will look at the critical business metrics for which marketing must have ownership to build credibility and drive organizations forward. Keep in mind, business metrics can provide insight that can specifically be acted on and have a direct impact on growth. Sales metrics. It is important to note that when it comes to sales metrics, there's more to it than just revenue and profitability. An organization has its marketers and sales team, which are responsible for different things with similar end goals. In many well-known organizations, marketers are responsible for leads, attracting website visitors, and spreading brand awareness. On the other hand, the sales team is responsible for the length of sales cycle, win rate, which we'll go into depth in a little. And lastly, they are responsible for closing bottom line revenue. Leads to first demo / meeting. As marketers aim to maintain or improve ratio of leads, they tend to focus on activities that matter towards this goal. An example of this can be the steps behind prepping for a first meeting. The sales team trains on how to follow up on specific leads. They make sure they have proper incentives such as research reports, cases, findings, presentations, and demo scripts. All this is to make sure every important aspect of the project is discussed during the first meeting time. This way, they can leave the meeting with a lasting impression. Sales must be followed up to ensure they are picking up the lead handoff. Following the right metrics is crucial because it leads to the correct activities needed to deliver great quality leads. Now my team member, Ani, will take over.
Hi, so I'll be speaking about the length of time in each stage of the buying process. So the second metric is the buying process, which is typically measured in days. Some professional marketers who track lead to first meeting or SQL conversion seldom track anything between the first meeting and the percentage of total leads that result in revenue. This is a major squandered opportunity. The effort we perform to map out the buyer's journey should be accompanied by an assessment of marketing's influence on leads at each stage. It also enables us to properly teach our sales team on how to use the tools we've worked so hard to create. Next slide, please. This slide, I'll be speaking about win rate. Win rate is a very important sales-oriented metric. Too many marketers are hesitant to accept responsibility for the company's average success rate. Sharing ownership of our success rate may drastically alter marketers' behavior in a way that focuses us on outcomes. When we want to influence win rates, we create material for the last stage of the sales process, in which we invest in training programs that improve the alignment of sales actions to target personas. We might also pay more attention to our competitors and attempt to provide a unique service. When we commit to enhancing this essential measure, the company offers us the emotional license and resources to do so. Darren will be speaking next.
Hello, everyone. I will discuss the adoption metrics. And as a marketer, it's important to not only focus on the number of orders that a consumer is placing, but also the adoption of our own marketing metrics. And the first segment will be time to initiation. This portion of adoption metrics discusses how customers start to feel, and specifically feel when they start to feel like they're gaining value within the adoption metric spectrum. Time to initiation also focuses on the length of time that customers are taking to place an order. It's important when they're looking at the order that the customer is placing to specifically measure the time when the customers are actually beginning to engage with that order. Onto the percentage of offerings used. This measurement is important because not all products are meant for one use. Therefore, this allows for products or services with a complex usage to still have the metrics recorded. Superficially, this measure does not focus on upselling, but rather focuses on when the customers are utilizing all the functions of a product or service that is available to them. With this information, a marketer can better understand what portion of the product or service is showing to be valuable, and they can better capitalize and focus on that product and service specificity in the future. And on to the next bit, which is, or sorry, you can keep that same slide. And onto frequency of use. This adoption metric focuses on the product usage and understanding how to improve based off product usage. The frequency of use is important, mainly because the product has a determined function, and that function can no longer be needed. And therefore, it's important for businesses to have a wide variety of functions. It's kind of rare with businesses to have one specific function in that product, and often that product will not have a long lifespan. This will ultimately allow marketers to better see growing trends in the product functions and focus on their increasing retention rate in regard to those product functions. I'll now pass it to Nadas, and she will go on the advocacy metrics.
Thank you for your amazing presentation. And now I'm going to talk about advocacy metrics. Many companies track customer satisfaction, which is useful metrics that the entire company should be concerned about. However, from the marketing standpoint, it is not enough. The majority of satisfied customers will never actively advocate for the company. Writing a review, making a recommendation to a friend, sharing content, and engaging with journalists are all examples of activities that advocates might engage in. Also, markets should be held accountable for turning happy customers into advocates, in addition to general customer satisfaction rankings. And thank you. And now I'm going to pass it to Arpa.
Thank you. So I'm going to talk about the metrics, or what metrics should include. So the first one is the percentage of customer base who are active advocates. So over time, the total number of the customer advocates will change. And for a percentage of customers who are active advocates of at least 10%, the most successful businesses constantly outperform the basic requirements. The second one is advocate engagement. To know how engaged your advocate is to setting a specific advocacy goal, such as sharing content, generating referrals, writing reviews, which my teammate already mentioned, is one way to measure. The best way to track your advocate's engagement over time is with a specific program goal, such as the number of direct referrals or online reviews obtained through the program. The third one is advocate impact. So advocate impact has a few unique advantages. They can assist you to prove the program's worth and justify their continuation. Track metrics related to specific program objectives, such as the number of opportunities generated by direct referrals or site traffic generated by online reviews. The last one is the number of detractors. Not only it is important to support advocates, but it is also important to track and understand your opponents. Customers who are disappointed are the only ones who are detractors. They might be public figures who are actively spreading negative information about your firm, or like customers may not be detractors, but former customers, partners, and employees are just as likely to be. They could even be an independent influencer who simply hate your marketing strategy. So we can make a better decision about resource allocation, priorities, and budget when we focus our marketing measurement on business goals rather than vanity metrics or transactional details. We can also tell a better story about the impact of our effort when we focus our marketing measurement on business goals rather than transactional details. And also don't forget to take the short quiz under chapter 2 discussion post. Thank you.